Welcome viewers, Windshear here. Glad you could join me. Sorry I didn't get this footage out to you sooner. I was trying to get this out with the Gamescom footage that was being streamed last week, but unfortunately with work and how I was sick and the usual story, this was too busy to do so. But I want to bring you footage of the latest Battlefield 4 gameplay that we've seen with the Gamescom live streams for that 5-day event. Seemed like a long time, 5 days. Was getting a little repetitious for me seeing this map. But I want to discuss my observations, concerns, and some details and share my comments with you as usual. As usual, feel free to leave comments and let me know what you guys think. And I've got lots of footage from this Gamescom event that I can target. Let me know what you want to see and I can focus on that. First of all, speaking of time constraints, next month I'm on vacation, so I have a lot of downtime. Unfortunately, the beta is not getting released in September. It's in early October, so I'm a little disappointed by that date. I think if you want to call something a beta, you should release it with enough time to where you can actually respond to the beta, and I'm a little critical of that date being released in October with the game's release in October 29th, the same month of. Feels more like a demo to me than anything, and unfortunately, I think there's a lot going on with DICE with this game. One bit of news I want to share with you, if you are a next-gen console like myself, next-gen console gamer like myself, that is, there was an article that came out on IGN about a author there that went and played Battlefield 4 on the PlayStation 4 in particular, the PlayStation 4 at Gamescom. And I was very concerned about what he had to say, and he didn't hold any punches. He said it was bad. Bad, bad, very disappointing. I was like, did I hear this right? I had to read it twice. I'm like, no, this can't be. They even had a video review, interview with him. And he said the textures were bad. It was only about 720p, compared to PC gaming or gameplay, which is what we've all seen and what everybody's playing. He said, particle effects were much less. The levolution factor just wasn't there. He was very disappointed. And IGN guys are big fans of the PlayStation 4 European type of reviewing agency, so I'm almost think they're kind of biased for the PlayStation 4 in a lot of respects. So to hear this criticism come from them was quite alarming to me. Now, of course, next-gen consoles have been released for several months, but his basic claim was they could possibly fix it by then, but basically he's stating that the claim that DICE said that you're gonna have a seamless difference, or basically no difference between PC and next-gen console, and that being 60 frames a second, large-scale maps. He says that claim has so far not been proven. So I'm a little concerned to see if DICE is actually going to pull this out. Maybe they bit off more than they can chew with all these platform supports that they're trying to cater to. Moving on into the topics that have stuck out to me in the footage I've seen is what's up with the scope. We all know Battlefield 3 came out. Everybody's running some type of night vision scope. In fact, they had to nerf it. So now it looks like it's back and multiplied several times in its effectiveness. Now we can put them on sniper rifles. They have zoom capabilities. There's two types of infrared scopes. There's a thermal scope and an infrared scope, excuse me. So look at this guy zooming in here, pulling off a headshot. Looks real easy to do this. I mean, I like infrared scopes, don't get me wrong, but my question is to you guys, do you think everybody's going to be running these scopes on their weapons? And look at that wave effect too. I want to replay that. And there's no questioning that the waves effects in this gameplay are very impressive. I mean, they're just jaw-dropping. The particle effects, the wave effects, the weather effects, excuse me, the wave effects just look really good. And I can see why DICE chose this map. In comparison to E3 footage where we saw Siege at Shanghai, and right here, it's this guy getting killed. I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. I'm a little about the layout of this map. I've got some concerns. But in the footage of E3, we saw Siege at Shanghai, which was a city map. Now we're doing this Paracel Island footage, which is obviously a naturalistic landscape with islands set in the Caribbean area, the South China Sea area, disputed islands. It has a real live play on what you see, I guess, in terms of having a potential battle scenario in this type of environment. So I can see what they're doing here. But in terms of this map layout, I had some concerns. I don't know about how this is really going to play that well. And then that being its limited mobility between these really small little islands. But what do you guys think about this camo? Let me jump in here. This is an image I got from one of my friends. he said, what do you think about this camo coming in, this Call of Duty type? Let's throw out some crazy camos here. And of course, this image is slightly embellished, but you kind of get the point here. Let's just throw out these crazy camos and everything, like on this gun, this AK-15. What do you guys think about these, frankly, Call of Duty type camos coming into Battlefield? Do you like that? Personally, I think it's a little bit much for Battlefield. Coming from Call of Duty, I would like that to be left in Call of Duty. I really don't think we need to bring over cartoonish type themes into a Battlefield. Battlefield's a little more the serious shooter. I mean, it's not like a Arma 3 type war simulator, of course, but it's a little more of a serious shooter, and I like to see the realism of the game a little bit more. Bringing out these really bright camos and stuff, I think it's a step back for Battlefield, in my opinion. But what do you guys think about that? Back to this map design, the things that I don't like about this map, again, I feel like Gamescom as a whole, I felt like just watching the gameplay, it was kind of boring. I mean, I don't want to be critical, but compared to, like, I remember watching E3 at Siege of Shanghai. You're seeing the skyscraper come down, the dynamic environments, the bullards, the alarms, the lights, all those interfaces in the map that you could interface with, all those points. I don't see dynamic maps here for the most part. I mean, we have this, you saw in the footage of this great big destroyer coming in, running aground on this island. I'm like, oh, that looks so cool. But I could not see any footage of it at all. And all the live stream I watched, they didn't even talk about it or show any of it. So I don't know what that's all about. So that was a big letdown. I don't really see much Levolution here. There's not many buildings. There's not much going on other than island hopping. Obviously, we got a new game mode here, Obliteration, which I think looks cool. It looks like a fun game mode. I'm down for it. It's kind of like a spin-off of Capture the Flag, if you will. But it looks fun. But for the most part, in terms of the action of the game, there's just too much exposure on these islands. I mean, you got 360 degrees, and this is one good player I managed to actually record doing some damage, but you're exposed to fire 360 degrees all the time. You got snipers out here, limited covers, not many buildings. It just looks like chaos to me, and if you throw a bunch of players on these islands, it's just going to be a mess, in my opinion. I mean, I've got some Conquest gameplay in here. I got some Obliteration gameplay. But between the two game modes, they seem very similar in their playstyle. It was really hard for players, just coming in off the street to adapt to this kind of map because there's just so much going on. Now, again, I know why they brought it in, so we can see the maps, or we could see the weather, we could see the waves. All that looks cool. The boat's beast. That thing is just tearing up people, so I'll show some footage of that here in the end. But my concern was coming in from that huge, it was a huge high coming in from E3. Coming into Gamescom, I just felt like this didn't build on that. It was a step back. And I think this map, it didn't hit it home in terms of you're trying to sell this game. You want to bring people in the game. You want to keep that, you want to carry on that momentum from E3. And I felt like this kind of fell flat. And we had the same commentators, at least the ones I watched from Twitch, doing a good job, doing their best to commentate on this footage. And it just seemed like it was getting repetitious. And maybe it was the length of the event. 5 days was a long time to talk about it. I couldn't watch every day. But again, from my standpoint of I want to see some kind of huge dynamic, I wanted to see the ship coming aground. They just didn't cover, and I have no idea why. So I have no idea what that that battleship coming into the middle of the map really does in terms of changing the course of this map. Also, commander mode. It was noticeably absent from either of the game modes. I didn't see any coverage on commander mode on this map, so I don't know what that's all about. I assume it was there. I heard them discussing it, but I just thought it strange. Again, maybe this is more of a criticism of Gamescom's coverage, but I just didn't see any footage. Obviously, at least I would show you if I did, of any commander mode going on there. So, and I didn't see much information built upon that. Seems like a lot of people are focusing on the really small details of Battlefield 4, whether it's this tactical reload thing. By the way, did you guys notice in this footage, it still seems like this reload thing's there, where if you reload your clip halfway through, you forfeit those 15 bullets, if you have a 30-round clip. So I don't know what's going on with this reload thing. Then there's this issue of tactical reload, which to me is just, why are we even talking about that right now? The bigger things that, I would want to focus on is where are we at with next-gen console? How are we going with those graphics? those are the important things. This map design, why are there no bridges between these islands? It's a bunch of small islands. It's just a strange map. Like if I were to design a map like this, you can have island warfare, but I would have a lot more vertical gameplay. I would have like maybe a huge island in the middle that's open with like a lake that's surrounded 360 degrees with elevated like mountains that you could ram that battleship through like a little canal that goes right in the middle of that map. That's the kind of stuff I would, if I was designing a map. I'm not a video game producer by any means, but having these really small little nestled islands with really no means of traversing them other than swimming between them. I just felt bad for a lot of these players as you saw me freeze in that first clip of the gameplay, that guy getting shot as he swam across the middle of the water. I mean, that's going to be really frustrating, at least from my perspective. It's frustrating just to watch it. Again, not seeing that many buildings, not having the Levolution effect. These are just the things I saw. Now, of course, this could play better. If we do get to experience this, obviously I haven't yet. But that was just my observations. The other thing is, how do jets play effect like this? Obviously, we don't have many land vehicles. That's another criticism I have. Is these islands are so small, you really can't have any tanks or anything on them. So all we have is boats and jets and maybe a helicopter. But if you're in this jet, my question to you is, as fast as you're flying around, how are you possibly be able to attack anything on these little small islands? Because by the time you turn, it's time to turn again, and it's like, look how fast this guy's going. I mean, do you really think a guy coming in off the streets could be able to do anything on this map in a jet? I mean, you really have to be an advanced player to be a force to be reckoned with this vehicle. So that was one observation I had as well. The last thing I'll ask you is about this boat. Do you guys think it's overpowered? My observation, I think these vehicles should be this strong, but this thing was just cleaning up on guys with this cannon, and I guess it's got a TV missile and several other weapon variants as well. But this thing, it does look cool, I will admit. I mean, seeing this thing roll up on half a dozen infantrymen, it just really puts them down. It looks good. So, there's that one bridge there in the background. That's really the only bridge you have on this map. So let me know what you guys think about the layout of this map. Are you guys happy with what you saw at Gamescom? Did you think it built on the momentum that we saw at Siege of Shanghai? Or were you a little let down like I was in terms of having the concerns about the maps, these weapon camos are bringing in, the weapons themselves? What do you guys think about those? I really didn't discuss that much, but I'm actually pleased with the weapons. I wish it would bring in the FN FAL and the marksman rifles, but I guess that's maybe that could always be released at a later date. What's going on with this reload thing? Do you guys think that's an issue? Is that could be addressed? But my question to the next gen console guys is, what do you think about that news about PlayStation 4 really not looking good on next gen console? That was a big surprise to me. I hope that's not the case whenever the game launches. But hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe. Let me know what you want to see in the videos to come with the Gamescom footage. I can target on a certain area, discuss a certain topic, and we'll go from there. Thanks for watching.